much. So great to see you all. And it's just, yeah, it's just an absolute joy. And yeah,
Sorry, Suzanne, you'll have to unmute yourself.
that's a good start. You'll say all again. Technology. Anyway, what I was saying was, it's great to have you all here and from all over the world. It's amazing and just such a wonderful energy as well. And just reflecting back over the last 11 weeks, haven't we done well? Haven't we just? We have done so well. You know, thumbs up to you all. Absolutely. You're real leaders and from the heart, you're servant leaders, and well done. You're committed to turning up every Sunday. So my name's Suzanne Camby. For those of you that don't know me, this is Journey to Heart and Soul. It's a non-profit organisation, and we do have members of the team here. Arthur from Cornwall. Arthur's there, he's going to wave. And David, who's put so much work into it as well. And our company director, Mark, who doesn't like me saying that. We couldn't do without Mark. And Marina, of course. Marina's just put so much love and dedication. Thank you, thank you. And Paul, our technical genius, for all his selfless help over these last 11 weeks. And Yvonne, for all the work you've put in. Thank you so much for your wonderful healing. And Daniel as well, who's been really instrumental. There he is, who spoke last week from Canada, very instrumental in setting up Journey to Heart and Soul. We've been teaching Reiki for 15 years now and became a non-profit, I think probably about 6 years ago, I reckon. It could be as long as that. So what that means is that any profits are distributed to the community. So we're dedicated to helping the community on all levels, whether that's animals, whether that's humans, whatever it is, we're really committed to helping. So the last 11 weeks, what happened was 11 weeks ago, I did a phone call to Marina actually, and we've been doing Reiki evenings every month for, my goodness knows how many years. And then lockdown happened, and I just thought we need to recreate these evenings somehow. So a phone call was made, I could see it all there. And here we are 11 weeks later, and we didn't know what was going to really happen. All we wanted to do was reach out and help, because this has been an unprecedented time. Never in history have had anything quite like this before. It's been very, very different, and people have had to adapt very quickly to change. There's been a lot of emotions that we've all felt, fear, anxiety, all sorts, and stress. And now we're moving through slowly, and the lockdown measures are being relaxed. So, of course, we're evolving. Alongside anything that happens, you will find that there's a huge positive increase as well in whatever is happening in the world. And here it's like a spiritual movement. And I don't know about you, but I think we've all grown hugely over the last 11 weeks particularly. So what we've decided to do, everyone on the call today, is to really evolve these evenings into workshops that are going to be called Uplifting the Spirit. And what we realize that people need now is more in-depth help. In-depth help in terms of knowledge and education and experience. And we've asked speakers to come forward and to give a day. It's going to be very different because it will be on Zoom. So it will be hour chunks with long breaks in between. And then we will be doing closed groups as well. So closed groups where you can have really more in-depth help on an individual level. So watch this space. That is what's going to happen as of next week. And the first one will be the 13th of June. And I know our guest speaker has some wonderful courses as well. So she'll be telling you about that. So the way the evening will go is I'm going to introduce Wendy in a moment, Wendy Price. And then Marina will be doing emotional release. And then Yvonne will be sending healing to the world, the planet, the animals. And that's just going to be, Yvonne always brings a beautiful energy. So introducing Wendy, just going to change this a little bit so I can see you all, that's better. So introducing Wendy, I think Wendy, it was about 3 years ago, we went to Los Angeles to hear someone called Crystal Marie Sheldon. And I'd known Wendy for actually some years because Wendy spoke at the Reiki evenings years ago. And we raised money for her horses, and she's going to tell you all about that. And anyway, I hadn't seen Wendy for some time. And we went to Los Angeles with Marina and with Seema and Leslie. And I went up for a swim up in the pool. So I was swimming along, doing my lengths, as you do. And I suddenly saw this lovely person with this big hat on and beautiful swimsuit and in purple. So I remember these purple flowers. And I thought, oh, you know, I'd like to say hello. So I said to this person, gosh, I love your colours and wow, you know, I love your hat. It was something like that. And anyway, I couldn't see below this hat. And she said, where are you from? And I said, Hampshire. And she said, oh, I know someone in Hampshire. And she lifted up, and I said to her, she said, Suzanne Cameron. I said, well, I'm Suzanne Cameron. And this was in the middle of the pool in Los Angeles. And she said, it's Wendy. And that was just such an amazing moment. I'll never forget it. So Wendy, as dear friend, she's very successful in what she does. Very, very successful. She's the kindest heart, and she'll tell you all about her animals that she rescues and everything that happens there. She's so much information to tell you tonight. I don't know how she's going to get it in 25 minutes. But she's an award-winning author. She's a spiritual life coach. She's an equine-assisted therapist. And Wendy helps transform people's lives, not only in relationships, but helps build their confidence as well. She's been featured in BBC Radio, Radio 4, and in the Daily Mail as well, and in many, many magazines. So wow, we are so honoured to have you here tonight, Wendy. So I'm going to hand you over to Wendy Brimmin Price. You've added another name in there, but Wendy, over to you, my love. Take it away.
So thank you all very much. Good evening, everybody. And I couldn't go on holiday, so I brought the holiday to us. Thank goodness for these virtual backgrounds there. Okay, so this is going to be a test of technology. So I'm going to attempt to share my screen. Share and press there. Okay, and have we got anything on the screen?
Yeah, we can see that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. Right, okay, so welcome to Life After Lockdown. And we're going to have literally a whistle-stop tour of some possible coping strategies for a new normal. And let me ask you a few questions though first. So how many of you are actually honestly looking forward to lockdown being over? Now, I know we do need to get back to work, but I have to confess, I would have to answer no, not really straight away. It's like, oh no, we can't have got through lockdown already, because I wanted to achieve so much. So, and over lockdown, have you discovered a truth that you didn't realise that was there? Because often when these sort of life events come about, or even personal ones, there's usually a truth trying to get through and be revealed to you. And so now that things are different, what new coping strategies will you need? So tonight I'm going to whiz you through and explore what gifts you have received during this period. And we're going to do the white room exercise and receive a few top tips for living after lockdown. And you might hear a few Wendyisms if I can fit them in. So who am I? As Suzanne said earlier, I'm the award-winning author of The Heart of Stable Relationships, pun intended. So the 12 ways the healing power of horses can transform your life. And as you can see, my first love is horses. Now, because I've only got 25 minutes, I'm not going to be able to go totally into my background and life story of horses, but hopefully maybe we can get an opportunity on another time. And they really have been everything to me since my 12th birthday and getting my first pony. And I don't know what I would do if I didn't have my horses to get up to each day. And I certainly don't think I'd have survived lockdown without being able to go and see them every day. But my second love is metaphysics, all the spiritual stuff, all the law of attraction, and that's why they call me Wifty Wafty Wendy Woo most of the time, because they go, oh, she's doing one of her Wifty Wafty stuff, and but I love it, and it's my passion, and I've qualified as a metaphysical practitioner years ago, and I use it in my life coaching. But my third love is actually combining the two. And here we have the Holistic Horse and Pony Centre, where I started out helping new nervous and novice riders get calm, confident, capable. And then because the horses have provided such instrumental healing for people, we've opened up the Heart Centre, where we heal hearts and minds with the horses. And that's usually not involving riding so much, but it's working with the horses in a very different way to help you get to the root cause of any of your challenges. And so it's wonderful because the horses and humans heal together, and there are just so many wonderful stories, and I've only got 25 minutes, so I better keep going. So this is how I like to look. me posing for my book when it was published, but I think I will give you a bit of a warning that if you actually come and see me at the yard, the real reality is what you'll probably get is this. And particularly this last winter, it was just a mud bath here, and I just never believed the mud would go away. So just so you don't get disillusioned when you arrive. So lockdown life, what are we going to do? So we're going to just take a moment, and if you've got a pen and paper, I'd just like you to off the top of your head think about what gift of lockdown has been given to you. So if it wasn't for lockdown, da 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 da, or I discovered this, or so for me the gift of lockdown has been the opportunity to be really supported, not only by the universe, but people have been so kind and generous in so many different ways. I've managed to get myself make an online course and little things like that. So if you look carefully, somewhere there should be many gifts. But as I said earlier, what hidden truth or secret desire or buried emotion has been allowed to surface? So where we've been given this opportunity as a planet to just stop still for a moment and actually breathe in that not rushing around in that busyholicness, we've got an opportunity for our intuition to try and speak louder, or we suddenly realize, oh, well, actually I've really wanted these 2 months off, or we may find that there's been an emotion that's been trapped there that just hasn't had the time and space to surface. And what will you miss when lockdown is over? Because yeah, it's going to be great to get back to a new normal. I mean, we're never going to be able to be completely normal again. So just think, what will you miss when lockdown is over? And it's worth just checking all these little questions to ourselves. And that takes us on to our next exercise. So here we've been stopped for nearly 3 months now, and probably a tiny bit longer. And so it's an opportunity to have what I call the white room exercise, where we've had so much taken away that now we've got an opportunity to think, well, what do we want? If we had a room, a blank room representing our life, what would we want to add? What do we feel we really want in our life now? What do we want to add? And it might be some peace or some time for ourselves that we may not have had before. Would it be better if you stopped doing things that you've been doing so busily? Or is there something you need to start doing? For me, it's been an opportunity to get my next book almost finished. We're 2/3 done, so that'll be out before Christmas. But I also know it would be better if I stopped working 90 hours a week, because it doesn't produce any productivity. Work. And what would you communicate differently about? How would you, what truth would you like to really start sharing? You know, and that might be about your job, it might be about your home, it might be even something trivial like chores being shared. But there's this opportunity to think clearly. And what you definitely need to do differently now, because we wouldn't all be put into this planetary halt if we weren't being invited to do something differently. And maybe we don't want to stop going on holiday, but do we need to keep traveling as much as we do all over the place? You know, thankfully we've been introduced to a Zoom world, but obviously that's got to be in balance too. So you may think about how you want to physically do your work differently. And for me, it's definitely added some, what I really love doing. And I thought, right, you know, we've managed to cope without just some of the, what we call the bread and butter stuff. And as I really committed to doing, right, what I really would love to do is I'm really passionate about training people in personal growth on my courses. And you know what, without even advertising, I've had 2 or maybe is it 3 people already have booked on the foundation course that normally takes me months and months to, you know, Facebook ads and everything else. So we can have what we want now, but we've got to get honest about it. Now, the next level, once we've got the practical things sorted, are looking at the emotions. So every event brings us emotions. So initially we might have had a lot of fear. There might have been some anger and frustration, but there's always a range of emotions. So you need to maybe explore, what exactly are you feeling right now? Not necessarily on this call, but you know, for me, I'm actually grieving a part of me is grieving the fact that lockdown's going to be over. It's like, oh no, I haven't got everything done that I was wanted to do in lockdown, and oh no, we're going to start getting busy again. Oh, and there's sort of part of me going, oh no, please stop a little bit longer. But at the same time, I'm also feeling a little bit of relief that actually I know some extra money is going to come in to help feed 33 horses. And again, as we said earlier, what buried feelings have had an opportunity to come in from the past? Have you had any deep feelings that have been stuck there, that being able to be with yourself, that they've actually had time to surface? And do you have any future fears or worries? Because for some people, you know, their jobs might be on the line, and we've still got to get through, you know, financially things, and there are a lot of businesses that still can't open fully. So that may be producing quite a little bit of stress and worry. But conversely, we might be brimming with excitement and enthusiasm. I think, Suzanne, when you first started, there was that real sense of that. And I must say, every time I see you, Suzanne, you've always got the biggest glow on your face, and it's always a joy to see. But, you know, we have got this opportunity to start doing things how we really want to do them, honestly. And so what emotional clarity has this lockdown given you, so that you can go forward now with, because that's really important, that when we emerge out of this, we stay with that clarity and don't let all the life as it was all creep back in too fast. And then that gives us to our mind. It's all in the mind. And this is where we're holding all the beliefs that, you know, do cause us problems and emotions. So what beliefs do you need to shift, to change, to delete, reprogram? For 50 years, I have lived with terror that I would never have enough money to feed the horses. Now, it doesn't matter how many horses I have or I haven't had, or how much money I have or haven't had. The fear has always been the same. But the most extraordinary thing happened as I went into lockdown, and there was this overwhelming sense of total trust. It's like, you know, I've never been cut off with money quite like this, even when we had the fire here. And it was like, oh my gosh, we've got, because we had to help the business. Wow, I really got to trust the universe now to provide. But instead of going into my old pattern of fear, I had this amazing opportunity to really step forward and walk my talk and find this new level of trust. And, you know, we have got through 3 months of, you know, virtually no business, and we have been provided for somehow. I'm not even going to try and work out how financially. I don't like looking at my books, because it's like, in theory, it shouldn't add up, but it does. So that had to be upgraded. That belief and that trust in the universe needed to change. And so we need to remember that beliefs that create fear keeps contracting our body, keep contracting our energy and our vibration. And when we're trying to create and manifest, if we're doing it from fear, we will keep blocking the manifestation because we're not in that high enough vibration. So I love the expression, show me how. Now, I do probably have a little confession, because just before COVID happened, I was saying to the universe, could you show me how I could have a couple of months off, please? And yet the horses still be provided for. So I'm going to take full responsibility that it's all down to me, because here we are. I had a couple of months off and we got provided for. So show me how is supersedes the normal sort of beliefs of, you know, I now have plenty of money, and you know, our mind argues too much with that. And so now you need to create beliefs that are going to support you and go forward with how you want your life to be. And I can't go into how to change those right now, but I can let you know how we can do that shortly. And although really and truly our spiritual ABC should be the end, I thought I would leave it to the last, because it's probably the most sacred part. And really we need to really find a way to connect with our spiritual selves. And I call it the spiritual ABC, which is we have to act. We might be being invited to take an act of leap of faith. We might need to act on one of those thoughts or ideas that we've had through COVID time. We might need to take action where we've been procrastinating over things. We might need to act on our inner guidance. And breathe. I mean, how many of you would agree that we've actually had such cleaner air? It's palpable, the cleanliness there, and we need to take in life more fully. I went to see my chiropractor yesterday, and she was telling me that I just don't breathe enough, just enough to keep me alive. And it's usually so symbolic, because when we don't take real full breaths, we often don't take in life fully. And so really setting your clock to not only connect, but breathe really deeply and fully every 2 or 3 hours, to get into that regular habit of breathing in life, love and energy, will help you. And, you know, that's what nature does for us. So getting out in nature to do it's even better. And then finally, we need to connect, or rather say, you know, initially that should be our first port of call. And we all have different ways. It might be called the universe, source, creator, God, higher power. Doesn't matter what we call it, it's irrelevant. But knowing that there is a power greater than us at work, which we can't deny. If something has stopped the whole planet and put it in lockdown, there has to be something bigger going on, hasn't there? So, you know, using that opportunity to really raise our vibration, connect to the light and source, and just ask, what do you want me to do next? How do you want me to serve? You know, really, really find that connection. And then you've got your ABC to put it into action. So earlier I was talking about how my first love of horses, and why horses, particularly when I work. Well, horses carry the wisdom of healing in their hearts and offer it to any humans who possess the humility to listen. And that's the beauty, is when you come on sort of our workshops, you have time to listen, you have time to listen to your intuition. And by working with the horses in a very different way, you're not just jumping on and going off for a ride, you're working with them in a way that is connecting energetically. So if you look at the picture on the left hand side, bottom left, you know, that's what horses see around us. We've all got this energy field, all our emotions, beliefs, and are sending out this vibration. And when we've got blocks going on, the horses pick this up. But conversely, when we're able to then release that block, and that comes through the coaching questions, the spiritual guidance that you get alongside, then you'll find that something shifts in your energy, and that makes the horses respond in a completely different way. So now it's all very well saying, oh yeah, I've changed my belief, but now you'll be able to feel the energy of what that new belief, or that maybe setting that new boundary actually feels like. And that's where we actually absorb more of what we learn. I can't remember what the quote is about, you know, what we see, do, whatever, but without a doubt, what we experience is what we really take forward in our lives. And just to share a specific story with the bottom right hand corner there, I had a client who came and she was having a lot of trouble on something, and she was trying to sort out. She had conflicting personalities that were, you know, like we all do, don't we? We want to do one thing, but another part of ourselves, you know, the logic part says, oh, we can't do that. And then your heart's saying, yes, but we should do this. And your higher mind saying, do that. So we're all over the place. Well, you can't quite see the picture of the first horse, but he's actually not being led. She is actually in front. And when she finally got her ducks in a row, what happened is all the horses started of their own free will to follow her over that blue tarpaulin. Now, what's even more extraordinary about this picture is it's normally the opposite way around. The bay horse, the brown one right at the end, she's normally the leader. And then it gets, so then the middle one, he's normally in the middle, and then the one in the lead is normally following. And this was so pertinent to her, that something that she's always normally following everybody else about, that once she took the lead, everyone else would follow her. And so this is where such magic happens. And it just brings theory alive, because we all know how, you know, we have to change our beliefs and heal our emotions, but what does it feel like when we actually do? So we've got an opportunity on the 14th of June or 5th of July, because obviously we can't do big numbers. You've got an opportunity to come, and any last little stresses left over, or maybe going forward, any disconnection you feel from maybe family that you want to work out with. Maybe you're still not quite over the overwhelm or the anxiety or the fear that life after lockdown is going to bring you overwhelm. You're going to have an opportunity to break free from that and be able to enjoy a new level of success, new level of self-belief and confidence. And this is what you will be able to really feel with the horses. And so it's they're both, I think they're, it should be Sundays, if I've got that right, 10 till 4. I will need to let you know about things like food. We usually provide it, but I'm not sure if I'll be allowed to yet, so we might have to bring a packed lunch. However, we'll be enjoying the horses outside, and normally we have that at £198 to come and do one of our days, but we have got special price coming up, and I guarantee you a magical day. Or I'm really willing to give you your money back if you don't get something from the day that you that hasn't helped you shift something. Then I willingly and happily will give you your money back. But we're still trying to raise money for the horses, so we have a special offer of just £125, and you can only get it on the crowdfunder link, which we'll give to you in the chat box. But it's a wonderful opportunity to be able to come and just have a magical day, really treat yourself, invest in yourself, and find that way forward. And keep everything intact, keep your integrity intact, keep that truth, keep that harmony, keep that empathy, and be able to really live your life the way you want it to. So I don't know if there's time for questions, but I'd just like to say thank you very much. There's the crowdfunder link, and you can find us on the heartcenteruk.com, a little bit of a complicated one, or the Holistic Horse and Pony Centre. And that is that. So I'm not sure how that did time-wise, Suzanne.
I think you did well.
Oh.
Suzanne, you're still muted. There you go.
Yeah, I unmuted, then it muted again. It just got of its own, this technology. You could have got there by now, wouldn't you? Let's see. Yeah. I can see everyone. Wendy, that was absolutely wonderful. And I have personally visited your centre. It's just amazing, and how you work with the animals, and yeah, the combination is just so incredible. Well, a few things that you said there's a power greater than ourselves, and I know everybody on this call is certainly aware of that, and that's what we tapped into through this period, even more so than ever before, I feel, you know, to find our spiritual selves, and whether we call that the higher intelligence, God, or Mother Nature, or universal energy, it doesn't matter, but there's universal intelligence that, you know, knows the way. So you said also about acting, and I think you're so right, you know, it's about acting, isn't it, on our inner guidance and our intuition, and to breathe. We forget to breathe, and taking life more fully. And I think if something really that we've all learned through this lockdown, and I certainly have, is to really cherish friends and relationships, and yeah, absolutely fantastic. So a wonderful opportunity for everyone to go and see the horses, and get a breath of fresh air, see Wendy in action. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much.
And so can I just finish that the task before you is never greater than the power behind you.
Thank you, Wendy. Wonderful. Beautiful slides as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. So now we're going to introduce Marina Dushkov, who, as I said at the start of the call, has been hugely instrumental in evolving Journey to Heart and Soul. So we're hugely grateful to you, Marina. And you're going to talk about the Sedona method, which we do every week. And as Wendy said, you know, the emotions are very important to observe and recognize. And what Marina will do is help facilitate those emotions and process those emotions through the Sedona method. So you feel those emotions through to the end, which is really, really important. So without further delay, I'll hand you over to Marina.
Thank you, Suzanne. My name is Marina Dushkov, and I have been using the emotional release called the Sedona method for over 20 years. It's a very much, there are different techniques. This is one of them. And this book is the whole course. So it's not just for reading, but it's also applied the questions and all the rest. So what is the emotional release? Emotional release is best described with the pen. With the pen, basically, when you subconsciously, when you identify with your emotion, let's say you feel hurt, you feel angry, subconsciously you hold on to it, and what that does is basically keeps the pain, keeps that in the system. But this hand, let's say, represents the awareness. When you open, you can see that the pain and the feeling are not really attached to you. So when you start to observe the emotion rather than identify by holding on, you start naturally drops down. So it is a very gentle and natural process, and every feeling, thought, and experience has a beginning, middle, and end. We do need to allow it to pass through. What happened, there is a lots of, basically humans don't like to feel uncomfortable. Simple as that. You have to be comfortable. You can't just feel, oh, it's like to feel always good. That's it. Well, that's not living possible, and that's not the full range of your emotional scale anyway. So we to let it through. And the more we release the limiting emotion, the more we hear the whisper of the clear reason, intuitive wisdom. Because our nature, in our essence, we are in a calmness and a peace. So what we are doing, we are distilling the emotion. This particular time, I'm going to do it differently because I will do it with, we will do the exercise release of breaking free from the box. And I'll explain what the box is. But basically, I will organize in the future a closed group, and they will have titles for the releasing. And you will have the opportunity more to have a question and answer, and for me to facilitate somebody in front of the group and to learn together. So it will be more involved. So basically, the point of the Sedona method, it is a gentle and natural way of releasing, which means it's done by the guiding of the question. And most of the, do your best to observe it rather than with your head. Just do your best. That's all you can do. It's all okay. And we are just going to acknowledge. When you acknowledge what's present, that's what it's required to be able to be acknowledged, to just observe and say, oh, I can see it there, I can sense it there, I can do it, and then it will naturally unfold and release. So, are there any questions at this point? You can raise your hand if you have a question. Nobody has a question. Fine. Okay, we continue. All right, so we will start by tuning in with your body, and what Wendy suggested, ABC, we will breathe first. So if you make yourself comfortable as best you can, it's okay that you do it with your eyes open, with your eyes closed, all good. So could you now allow yourself to focus on your feet as best you can? Imagine there is a deep roots of the tree inside of the ground. So allow yourself to bring that, to breathe in the grounded breath, deep breath in, and exhale gently. And in your own time, second deep breath in, grounded breath, and exhale gently. And what we are doing here, we are basically getting in touch with the body. And could you now allow yourself to take a third deep breath, full the grounded breath, and exhale gently. Allow yourself as best you can to relax your body and let your mind be alert. And then could you just allow yourself for a moment to be, just to be what and who you are, just to be what you are. And the reason we are mentioning rather what than who is because we don't want to just acknowledge personality. What you are is beyond the personality too. So could you just allow yourself to be what you are? And just allow yourself to be what you are. And notice there is nothing you need to do in order to be what you are. And then could you bring forward looking at your favorite box that you are you box yourself to live in. This can be you're a good person, you're a spiritual person. It can be the role of the daughter, father. However, the roles we can drop, but sometimes we are more identified with the box that we live in. So could you welcome your favorite box, whichever one you choose, and just notice how this box feels like, looks like, sound like. And then could you also welcome the imagining box? Is this imagining box connected with approval, control, safety, separation, or oneness. And whichever want is brought to your attention, could you just let it go? Just could you? And would you let it go? And when? If now, take a deep breath. And could you notice how could you just let go for a moment of wanting to confine all your infinitive nature into the small box, into just 2 or 3 small boxes, and just notice what is beyond the box. And could you just allow yourself as best you can to relax in what is beyond the box? And could you now bring forward again the same favorite box or some other box that you are boxing yourself in? And the point is, we are identifying with this limitation, and somehow this feels safe. And some of us, we like to decorate our boxes, some of them feeling very plain. But could you welcome your favorite box and acknowledge, how does your box feel like, sound like, look like? Just acknowledge as best you can. And just focus as best you can just to notice how it is to live in your box. And then just again acknowledge, are you that imaginary box? Is it connected with wanting, with control, approval, safety, separation, or oneness? And whichever want it is, could you just acknowledge it? Let it be here. And could you then, as best you can, let go of wanting to package yourself in that box, and let go of that want. Just do as best you can. And would you let go of your limitations and your box? Just for now. Just to experiment how it is. And could you just rest as that never has been boxed, never was confined? Could you just rest as that, as best you can? And could you just again allow yourself to any remaining box, just bring once more, either that box or some other box, and just acknowledge you're boxing yourself. And welcome that boxing and that limitation as best you can. And welcome all that brings in within you. How does it look like? How does it sound like? Even how does it smell like? And as best you can, just for now, check. Is your box connected that you want approval, that you want control, that you want safety, separation or oneness? Just check which one. And whichever one of these wants, could you just simply let it go, release it? And could you allow yourself to acknowledge your what's beyond the box? And could you rest in that infinite nature with beyond the box? Just for now, as best you can. Could you rest as that never was confined? And just notice that energy that never was confined and always free and unlimited is aware energy. Just notice the affectionate awareness of that energy as best you can. And then just for experiment, could you allow yourself to be that affectionate awareness as best you can? And just be the affectionate awareness. And just be what you are. And then gently focus on your feet. Take a deep breath. And exhale gently. Take another deep breath. And then when you're ready, gently open your eyes and bring your awareness back into the room. So this is example of the, when we focus on specific title, and this one is to release boxing yourself and your limitations and acknowledging how it is, just to see. So Ade, I think, oh yes, what I wanted to say to you is that I use the emotional release as a part of my intuitive readings and my life code readings for the soul, because the processing emotion is a very big part of the allowing to pass through and the subconscious patterns to be shifted. And I also have the details in the chat box. And if you find, some of you, if you don't know your soul nature and your life code, please, it's free. You can discover your soul nature and life code on Discover Your Life Code and download the free ebook. That's in the chat too. And I wish you all the very best. And I'll see you sometime soon. Thank you.
Marina, thank you so much. The Sedona method is amazing, and what you do is incredible. It's helped me personally hugely. And as I said at the beginning of the call, I do apologize for the feedback. I'm hoping that sounds a little bit better. Does it, everyone? Is that better? Yeah.
Much better.
Great. So as I said, we are upgrading. As Wendy said, it's about upgrading. So we're upgrading everything so that you get even more in-depth help as we move forward. And we go forward through certainly the rest of the year and beyond. And Marina will be one of the speakers. So the course will look like, it will be an online event. It will be on Zoom, so you won't have to leave your home, and there'll be large breaks in between. But there'll be about an hour of emotional release within that, and you'll be able to get really in-depth help and help you move through everything that you've been going through. And then there will be smaller closed groups where you'll be able to, if you particularly like a speaker and you feel really drawn to that, you'll be going to go into even smaller groups. So Yvonne will be a speaker, and Sheila, who sadly had to go tonight, but she will be a speaker too. Heather, our lovely Heather with the sound bars, will be doing a whole hour of sound bars. Can you imagine? That's absolutely incredible. We've had so many amazing speakers this last 11, 12, I'm not sure how many ones we've done now, I think it might even be 12. So we'll be bringing them back. An hour of Qigong with the Alessandro, do you remember that? So an hour of Qigong with everything, be absolutely fantastic. And it will take you along that journey. So Marina and I will be putting everything together this week, and that will be on the 13th of June. So we'll keep you posted on that. So finally, to introduce my dear friend Yvonne, our angel on earth, as I describe her. She is such an angel on earth. And she's going to take us through the healing that we've been sending every week to Mother Earth, the animals, all the animals, Wendy's horses, and to family and friends, and to those people who've passed on. I think we all know people who've transitioned into another vibration, and we sending them healing on their journey home. So Mother Earth is healing. She'll be getting lots of beautiful energy tonight too. So I'm going to hand you over to Yvonne. Yvonne's been a spiritual healer for 30 years, haven't you, Yvonne?
I have.
Yeah, and it's also a Reiki master. Over to you, Yvonne.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I hope you're sitting nice and comfortably in your chair. We're going to go on a journey now. So I ask you again to take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Another deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Close your eyes. And now start to feel your feet connecting with Mother Earth, and begin to feel the golden energy that fuels our soul begin to rise up into our feet. Travel up through our legs, our body, into our arms, and into our fingers. Up through our chest, into our face, and overflow through the top of your head, through your crown chakra. Golden light flows all the way over us, just like it's giving us a spiritual hug. Begin to feel the light push its way through our skin, and we begin to glow. Archangel Raphael feels that it's time for us to receive some healing, as we may be focused on others right now. So please take a moment to absorb this glorious energy. Now bring your focus to where you would like to channel your healing. See their image in front of you and begin to send love and begin to send your healing for their highest good from your heart to theirs. Such beautiful energy. But now it's time to take a deep breath and release, and give thanks for Archangel Raphael's love and guidance. It's time to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and when you are ready, open your eyes. The energies will continue to be with us as we have raised our vibration, and any energies that are left will be sent where they are needed right now. And so with love, we say namaste.
Thank you. This is beautiful, really beautiful. That lovely, calm energy. Thank you, Yvonne. So we've sent energy to, well, those people we love in the world, and we continue on our journey to the heart and soul. And again, a huge well done to each and every one of you. You are absolutely incredible. And together we are better. Together we are better. So we at Journey to Heart and Soul and all of the speakers, we are all with you in our own individual ways and as a collective as well. We won't be holding another session next Sunday. We're putting all our energies into the closed groups and into getting the online Uplifting the Spirit off the ground. And we will keep you informed so that you can become part of that as well and go deeper into your journey. If you're not already on the databases that have been shown, so that would be Energy from Within, My Soul's Radiance, Journey to the Heart and Soul, and Wendy's database, if you'd like to be, if you're drawn to any of those and you're not already on them, we do need permission. So you need to put your name into the chat box, and then we can put you onto the database, and we will send you out from Journey to Heart and Soul information on all of the up and coming workshops and Heidi Sawyer's work as well, and anything else that's going on. From me, good night and Godspeed, Mark. I think Mark's going on his way, our company secretary. We love you dearly. Thank you for all you do. And yeah, have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye from us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Everyone.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Amazing evening.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Thanks, Suzanne.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye,
Bye,
Daniel.
Daniel.
Lovely to see you.
Daniel, congratulations.
Bye, Christelle. Lovely to see you too.
Bye, Mark.
Bye.